All right, so before we get this video started, real quick, I want to tell these 4 people to contact me either on Twitter. You can go down on the link below to our Twitter and send us a DM, or you can find me on Discord at Wraith Talks. I'll have the username down below. We need Vanilla Bean. You want some sleeves, my man. Janable. You got the promos, the Frankie promos, the Secret Art, and the Nami. Phil, you got the 10 pack of Dawn, and then Saiyan, 0617, you won the 2 Altar Kyros. Go ahead and try to contact me either on Twitter or on Discord. I need your guys' info so I can send those cards out from the giveaway. I appreciate you guys. Let's get into the video. What's up, Pirates? Ray Talks here with Awaken TCG, and today we have the actual finals. This was the grand finals of the online CORETCG regional that I ended up taking. Spoiler alert. Anyways, you guys should all know by now, I took it with green, purple Dofi. And so we're going to go look through the final. I know there's going to be a lot of kids, a lot of Dofis with the new ban list set. So there's going to be a lot of green. So I'm excited to go over this game. And I will talk about kind of a little bit of the new information that I've gathered since this match and testing with the new ban list and stuff like that. I don't have a list ready. I'm sorry. I don't have a list ready. This is coming out. I think this is on a Tuesday. I don't have the list ready. How I want to really, evolve the list, I guess you could say, right? Because obviously no more Whitebeard. We don't have to really tech in for Whitebeard anymore. It's kind of just, can the deck beat Katakuri? Is it good into blue? As long as we have our Sugars, our Punk Gibsons in our decks, I think the Zoro and Law matchup are definitely going to stay about the same. Maybe the Law matchup gets a little easier since it can't run its infinite searches, and as well as the Zoro, no more Dodon. It's kind of going to have to run a different kind of package, and so it might be a little easier. But for the most part, Zoro is still a tough matchup. I think Law is still going to be relatively difficult, but they should be easier than before. As far as Katakuri goes, Katakuri is definitely going to be, that's the benchmark. Can this beat that deck, right? Can Dofi beat that certain deck? And if it can, then obviously, it's a good list. And then the last test for this deck is, can it be blue? Can it go even with blue? Because that's our biggest weakness. Especially the list that I was using here. If I were to have versed a blue deck with this, if I versed a Croc with this list here, I probably would have instant scooped, right? The chances of me winning against a blue Croc with this list are very slim. Blue Croc just kind of destroys this list. It would have been a difficult matchup. Anyways, let me stop stalling. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to definitely be fast forwarding a bit. Just because I think there are some moments in this game where we both kind of, take a long time. I don't want this to be another 27-minute video. I won the dice roll. I said in all my interviews and my deck list review, so I search with Bonafesta going first and I grab Grand Tesoro. But I said everywhere that going first is better. I may have to retract that statement. Now with these new lists that I've been testing, I don't know if first is better. Second might be better because the games they're a little more grindier. They take a little longer. We don't have a Rush Zoro in your face. We don't have a Law Zoro in your face. We don't have a Whitebeard making these games last 6 turns only. And so there is definitely this element of like maybe second might be better. I have to do more testing to be 100% sure. But here definitely going first was better in my opinion. And so I picked first after, I came to that conclusion. His turn 1, he passes. My turn 2, I did not have a 3-drop, so I just swung at his leader for 8,000, and he took. Next up, he's going to swing at me for 5,000. I think always taking the first life is relatively okay. There's not a reason for you to block it out unless the only reason you should ever block out is if you have like the perfect hand. Your next 2 turns are set up, and you can afford to block out for that 1 card. Then maybe it could be different to kind of save your life a little early, but for the most part, you'll kind of always want to take first life, especially if your hand isn't perfect. Obviously, I didn't drop a 3-drop, so I'm like, okay, let me take this life. I could probably grab a card from life to use. So my opponent just goes Nami, and he searches. Very basic, standard procedures here. And then now it is my turn to swing 5,000. All right, it is my 3rd turn. I'm at 5 done, so I go ahead and I swing. Boom, 5,000, and he takes. And so here, this really surprised me, right? I went first, so I'm going to have the first lethal turn, right? I'm going to be the first one to be able to swing for lethal. At this point, he takes. I play Diamante for 5. Why? Consistent pressure and can stay up as blocker, so can never be rested by 10-drop. One, two, he's gonna from this turn on, he's gonna have to deal with a 7K swing every single turn on top of my leader. And so he swung 5. I went ahead and blocked that instantly. I know he wasn't gonna attach any to his leader, so I'm like, let me get this free block out of the way now. Got the free block off, right? Obviously, that's an amazing turn. And then he swings at me. I go ahead and drop a 1K counter. Why? Because I have my turn set up. Now this is where I'm going to play aggressive, keep the life advantage, and then just go for his resources. And since he took that second life so early, I'm thinking, okay, this I could do a good job doing a little bit. What am I saying? I'm fumbling my words. I could do a great job of pressuring him a little bit more. That way, it's not as bad as me in the late game, right? Then I can set up a turn for lethal a lot easier. So obviously, as you can see, I'm using that Diamante effect. Like, it's like clockwork. If I got the Diamante up, I'm swinging with 1 Dawn up. It gives me a free KO on his Nami. And then I'm going to swing 5 again with my leader after I just got a free, KO on the Nami. He's going to pitch a 1K because he does not want to go down to 2 life, which, okay, now it's smart to, definitely go for that. So I'm going to play a Buena Festa, hopefully grab a card I need. There is the Luffy. Probably didn't have it in my hand if that's what I'm grabbing. And then I go, this is Guild Tesoro, Gran Tesoro, one of the two. Anyways, I now have an amazing board compared to his. Once I'm at 10 Dawn, I'm going to be able to use that effect, draw 2. He's going to have a real problem. It's cards like this that definitely change the matchup in this. And by the way, I run a 2 of that Tesoro that I have, and I run a 1 of that Diamante that I have. So I kind of got it in good moments. Obviously, I didn't have my film package to play with, but I was still able to pull something else out and make use of it. And so now my opponent is going to... it looked like he swung 5 and I blocked it, and then now he's swinging 7. So I'm debating if I'm going to take here or if I'm going to block it out. And then my opponent is at his 2, 4, 6, 8. My opponent is at his 8 Dawn turn, and so that means he's going to Luffy. Yeah, there is the Luffy, and he's going to go into a Nami and search. So now, I'm free to play basically whatever I have in hand, right? I can go in for a Luffy. I can go for pressure on the board. I can. I probably don't want to pressure the Frankie, but I can definitely go in, swing at lead. I'm almost at 10 Dawn. I can Tesoro. I can if I don't have a 10 drop in hand, I can definitely Tesoro here, and not feel bad about it because it may draw it for me, right? Especially if I'm bricked. Sometimes an early Tesoro can be the difference maker. So I'm gonna attach 1 onto Diamante. I'm going to count out 7, keep 1 up on the side just in case. Depending on what I'm gonna use it for here, I could probably. Depending if I have an event, I can attach 1 to Tesoro, swing another 7, and just play aggro. I can, Luffy, attach 1 onto leader, swing 6, 3 times or 2 times, and then 7 with the Diamante. So it looks like I'm gonna go a raw 5 first. So I'm probably trying to bait out one of his blockers. He's gonna give a 1K, which is totally fine, right? Instead of having that Luffy be useful and block, he goes and gives me a 1K. So this lets me know, okay, I'm probably going to swing 7 with Diamante, swing 7 with the Tesoro, so the Luffy can't block and he still has to pitch a card or take a life at that point. And then I'm just going to do my 7 drop. That's probably, I don't know. Let's see what I do. I forgot what I actually do. It looks like my opponent blocked out, which is completely fine. I think I'm swinging at the Frankie here. And so, yep. Yeah, see, this is what I'm thinking is the best play, and it's what I'm doing. Because I totally forgot what I actually did. I haven't watched this back since this day. And so he gives me 2-2Ks. He gives me 2-2Ks to protect his Frankie, which, in my opinion, I don't know if that's the best. That's a lot of defense. He probably could have just let the Frankie go, especially if he has another Luffy in hand. But look, as you can see here, my Diamante gets that restand. So now, even if he does have 10 Kozdofi, he's only getting 2 targets, and I still have 3 blockers up. So it feels really bad for him. In this moment here, he goes 5 at lead. I think I go ahead and give a 1K or block. Yeah, probably the Uta block is a smart choice here. I'm going to 10 Dawn anyway next turn, and I can get a free, rest on his 7K Frankie, right? So I'm not getting that. And then at this moment, I'm probably, thinking, okay, he's probably going to try and tank cost here. He's swinging, you know, just literally with no Dawn attached, so that kind of gives it away. What is he doing here? Let's see. We're talking about something. Oh, he's debating if he wants to use a Dawn. Okay. Oh, he swung. Wait, how did the Uta die? Oh, I let the Uta die. I used its effect and just let it die, right? That way I can save cards in my hand. He swings 5 at lead, and I'm going to take that. And the reason is I don't think I really want to get 10 costed, so I'm trying not to use any of my blockers. Because if I block, I could go ahead and block, right, the 5k with the Diamante. But then if he 10 cost, then I'm getting triple rested, and I'm in a bad spot. And so as you can see there, he did have the 10 cost in hand. So I definitely played that right. I played it right, letting the Uta die. Otherwise, it was just going to be rested for a whole turn with nothing to do. My leader and the Tesoro are rested, which does kind of suck, but it's not the end of the world. And I feel like in this position, I'm free to swing because I don't think he's going to have a second one. And if he does, well, you know, you got it, right? Here, a 10 cost for me would be huge because not only would I be able to limit his aggression next turn, I would be able to hopefully Tesoro the next turn with it being relatively safe, having to just protect from one swing, because I think I'm going for the Nami here. 100% going for the Nami just to give myself 3 targets. And so he pitches a 2k. I swung 6 at the Nami and he gives me a 2k. And I'm debating here if I want to swing with the Luffy. He has no Dawn up, and the Luffy would be a 7k at the 5k Nami. The only thing I would have to actually worry about is that 10k Dofi swing, which could be brutal. But I think it's a risk that I have to take. You know, I don't want an extra body on his board. I do have a good amount of cards in hand, but you know, I'm thinking way too much. Come on, man. Let's get it done. So I do. Boom. I 10 cost. Obviously the Frankie, the Luffy, and his leader, so he can't get a double swing. And then do I swing with the Luffy is the real question. I don't. So I don't swing with the Luffy. The Uta stays alive. And then we were going back and forth with unresting our characters after they were already supposed to be rested with the 10 cost. It's just habit, right? It's just habit. So we're just like, oh yeah. I did the same thing on my turn. Anyways, now it is my opponent's turn, and he only has 2 swings, right? So as soon as he triggers that 5,000 swing and searches, that gives me my signal. Okay, he's not 10 costing. I can block here. I can, you know, play defensive and just hope that I have a better ending hand than him, because our boards are really very similar. We both have a Luffy. We both have a 10 cost. He has a Frankie, I have a Diamante, and then a Nami for the Tesoro, right? So our boards are super similar, right? The only issue is he's not able to swing with his board right now. You know, he can't swing with his board right now because I just froze it. And so he swings 5 and I pitch a 1k. In this matchup, the sugar isn't too huge unless you predict when the 10 cost comes down. He swings at the Tesoro for 10, and I have the Union Armada. Everyone's saying that's a bad card, but that Union Armada literally saved my Tesoro there. He goes and plays a Barto to restand the Luffy that he just raw played. Did he raw play that Luffy? Oh no, he played that Luffy 7, 8, 9. Hold on. Let's get to the bottom of this. He used 1 for the Nami search. Oh, he played the Bardo for free with the Luffy. Okay, I'm tripping over here. And then he uses Bardo effect to restand his second Luffy. And so now at this point, I can play real aggressive. I just want to make sure my defenses are intact. Let's see what I do here. So I swing 5 at the Bardo first, and he just lets it go, right? Obviously, the game's not going to last that long. Maybe on my end, that was kind of a bad swing there. But you never know. If it goes even longer, then this is a free 7k he can swing with his leader, and then he just restands it at the end of the turn, right? So just a better Diamante. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get this out of the way just in case, right? You never want to be in a position to put yourself in harm's way. You'd rather be safe than sorry always. Unless you're kind of backed up into a corner and you have to swing for lethal, you know, be my guest. But if not, definitely just keep it keep it calm, collected, and you know, use safe pressure always. Safe pressure is what wins you games. If you ever get too out of hand, that's when you can leave yourself open. And sometimes you don't even expect it. And you're like, oh wait, I missed that. I didn't even see that, because you're playing a little too aggressive, a little tunnel vision. You never want to do that. Always make sure all facets of the game are being accounted for. So then I swung. I think I swung 10. I swung 7. He takes. I swing 10. He takes. And then I'm going to Tesoro. After I 10 dropped again, all 3 of his units, and draw 2 cards, which is massive, right? So my defense just gets 100% better. I made sure to leave 1 blocker up just in case, because he did have both of his Luffy's up, and so if I didn't leave up 1 blocker, it could have got sketchy, because he can swing with Luffy, restand, swing again, right? And this way he only has 3 maximum swings, and I can block 1 of them. And that leaves me just enough cards to be able to block out of a potential game-winning swing. It looks like I had 5 cards in hand. What are we at? We're at 16 minutes. We're coming to the end. So here what he does is he swings 7 at my I think my Tesoro or life. He might have been swinging 7 at life. But the reason that I gave a 4K plus 4, paid 2, and I restood the Dofi was because I thought he was going to 10 drop me. Now, whether he has it or not, I personally believe that he had it in hand, and it would have, I don't know if it would have stalled the game out longer. He would have got a rest on the Tesoro, the Luffy, and 1 of my 10 drops. I would have had 3 swings, and he could have held, 1 blocker up, maybe 2 blockers up. Maybe he didn't have to swing there. But anyways, that's what I did, because that's what was going through my head. I remember this. So he raw plays the Luffy and he passes. Rough turn. I know he can't run the Utas. A Luffy Uta combo here would have been massive. But obviously he's stuck to mono green, and so that's kind of where the film kid lacks. It doesn't have all the juicy cards that green purple Dofi can run, all the events and stuff like that. And so now it is my turn to try to go for lethal, but he does have 2 blockers up, and so I got to be cautious, because he can 10 drop me again. Kind of put me in a rough spot, and I've definitely learned my lesson, because I don't verse the mirror match too often. I'm considering this a mirror match, but like even against a green purple Dofi, sometimes the events catch you off guard, and sometimes they'll have like 6 cards in hand, but then they block plus 4K, restand a blocker, and they're getting away with so much value by just having these cards available to them. And I've definitely lost to the mirror match just because of my own inability to recognize that, oh, they can do this. Like, I'm so used to just doing it, and I don't really practice the mirror match. It's like, oh wait, right? So that's definitely one of my weaknesses. So I definitely have been brushing up on the mirror match. Obviously into Kid, I've been practicing a lot into Kata. My new list kind of feels a little worse into Kata, but it's still very doable and a matchup that you can win. But this new list that I'm slowly getting, I think, the hang of, is really good into blue, which is a huge plus, because this old list would not have done the trick. And let's go ahead and go back real quick. So I swing 10. What did he do with the second 10 swing? Sorry. So he takes life, right? I swing 10, and what does he give me? I'm going on a rant. I apologize. We're almost hitting 20 minutes. We're going to, get it done right here. So he goes plus 4 and a 2K. And then at this point, okay, so now I'm attaching 2 to leader, and I'm swinging 7, and I have a 7 Don left, right? 7 Don, yeah, 7 Don. Let's see, what did he do? Oh, he gave me a 2 and a 2 and a 1K. Yeah, so he gives me 2 cards. He gives me a 2 and a 1. I'm whittling down his hand, and now I have a juicy Diamante swing that's been there all game since on curve turn 3. Been putting in work every single turn. Swinging 7, swinging 7, swinging 6, swinging 7, and he's just not been able to get rid of that pesky card. I think that card in the mirror match is really, really good. Let's see here. Let's see what's gonna happen. So he gives me another 2 and a 1, and so now he's running really low on cards. And at this point, I still have 7 cards in hand. I attach one onto the Tesoro to leave me at 6 Dawn. So at this point, I forfeit the chances of me popping a Luffy. And so I Dawn -2 and draw another 2 cards. So now this one Tesoro has gotten me 4 cards. That's why it's so good. This Tesoro is so good. It's gotten me 4 cards. I don't win this game if I don't draw those 4 cards, because this game goes down to the wire, right? And so now I'm thinking, okay, he's able to block out. He has almost no cards in hand. Can I live? What's my turn? This is what's going through my head. I have one Luffy swing, but do I want to swing with it? Probably not. I kill my own Tesoro. I Nami to search. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want another 2K in hand. I'm like, okay, he's gonna go for game next turn. I need to have a 2K, and boom, I find a 2K. I'm like, okay, just give myself the best chances to survive, because at this point, all thoughts of playing correctly have gone out the window, and all that's going on in my head at this moment is just intuition, playing off of feel, because at this point there's so much adrenaline and anxiety going through me, and just making me not be able to focus as much, because honestly I've never been in a position where I'm in a finals in a regional, right? So I'm like struggling to breathe. I keep grabbing my water. I'm drinking my water, trying to stay focused, and just focusing on my breathing and what's in front of me, because honestly it was definitely an experience being in a finals in a card game, which I never would have expected. And so his first swing is a 7K, and I go Hell's Judgment of Hell. I go -3,000 on the Frankie, so that blocks his attack, and -3,000 on the leader. That's gonna come back to bite him. This card is so good into this matchup. So now, in order to just get a 5K swing off, he needs to attach 3 Dawn onto his leader, which means he's forfeiting basically 3 Dawn just to get 1 card out of my hand. And so now he's like, he's in a rough spot. He does have a lot of swings, but I have 2 blockers and a ton of cards in my hand. He has to traverse the situation, because if we look at his hand, he has 2 cards. He is not living next turn. And so, this is definitely a long awaited commentary match that I wanted to review. So I'm so happy I'm able to actually do this. And this is the final turn, guys. I'm going to speed it up. Okay, boom. He goes 7K with the Luffy. And so now it is my turn to rebuttal with what I'm going to do. I give him a 2 and a 1, right? Keeping it simple. I still have a lot of cards in hand. A 2 and a 1. So he goes 7 again. He's trying to get another 2 cards out. And you know what? I have the answer for that as well. And so now at this point, he has 4 total swings left. And so he gives me another 7K to deal with. I'm thinking in my head, what do I want to do here? I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and block and give a 2K. Keep my Luffy alive. Not only that, I have a well, you guys will see. You guys will see. Let me not spoil it. Let me not spoil the whole game. You guys will see. So now he has 3 swings left, and I have 1 blocker, but I also have 1 life. So he has to 100%ly get this right, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to. It's looking rough. He has all of his Dons still up, and he goes 9,000. So he puts, what is that? Let's pause it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so he's putting 7 Dawn onto his leader, which means 7 plus 3. What is that? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. That's 7. So 7 plus 5 is 12, minus 3, 9. So he's swinging 9,000. And I take. He's swinging 9,000 and I take. And then he's going to go ahead and re-swing 9,000. And I'm going to, boom, punt Gibson, blocker, give him a 1K. And at that point, he says, GG's, you got it. Because obviously he has 1 swing left. I have 2 blockers up. And that is game. So shout outs to my opponent. He was a really good player, and that match was so stressful, and definitely probably the hardest matchup the whole day that I played, especially with my inexperience playing against Film Kid. But regardless, guys, I will have a deck list video up very soon. I'm just trying to come up with something. I'm trying to come up with something is difficult. I'm not the best at deck building. That's definitely a skill that I'm getting better at day by day. But I have been trying a lot of lists, and so we'll see one soon from me. Don't worry, I will definitely hook you guys up with something good. I promise. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of the series. We're going to go back to our regular scheduled uploads of daily videos still, but it's gonna be random stuff. It's gonna be new cards, starter deck reactions, new card reactions, reacting to others people videos, reacting to other topping deck lists, box openings, just random stuff, cool stuff, things that you guys will hopefully enjoy. And if you have any ideas of kind of the content you guys also want to see, go ahead and always drop that in the comments. Feel free. We're always in the comment section conversing with everybody. Good comments, bad comments, all of that. We definitely take feedback and everything. Anyways, we appreciate you guys so much. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment down below what you thought of my run, and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace.